by any officer of the middle or lower cadre never succeeded in Nigeria. Whether from Kaduna Nzogu, whether through Bokasoka Dinka, whether through Oka. And there is a reason for that. And that is why in Nigeria, we need a man of conscience who is experienced, who might even be from the old cadre, but has made up his mind that he wants a new Nigeria. If you're expecting a younger person to come in the midst of these sharks, they will swallow him up. And I'm telling you, an Obama can come to Nigeria and will not win election. Not because people will not vote for him, but they will steal it from him. So what we have now in Nigeria is that we have a system that needs to be fought, that needs to be taken out.
Can you trust the people we are seeing in that video? That the new wave of Nigerian politicians that are going to cause change? Because if some people have said Nigerians rejected PDP.
Yes.
You are saying Nigerians no longer like APC, but these are a combination of the two parties.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. Assuming an article comes into power, assuming, and takes us back to the Obasanjo years, he would have been a hero. He would have paid up all our debts. He would not acquire new debts. He would have made sure there's no security problem all around Nigeria. He was the vice president. I'm just using him as an example because he's the only person that has been in the presidency from 1999. Assuming he can even take us, because it is the terribleness of the successive government that keeps beatifying the predecessors. I never knew any government would be worse than Buhari's government. I must be very honest with you.
Are you saying that the Tinubu government is
the worst in the history of this country?
Is that fair to say?
How would
Based on the policy direction of this government?
How would I define a president that from the first day in office, when even there is a law that says fuel subsidy will go by June 30th, and the first thing you were able to say, fuel subsidy gone. And
hello, everyone. So I'm just trying to understand how to navigate this interview. But for me, one of the things I'm just going to pick out and say is the fact that whether there's this thing, I think it's been happening, whether for some it's outright, for it's subtle or whatever, as in just looking at Atiku as if Atiku is that option, Atiku is this, Atiku is that. I'm like, really? Do we have to? Okay, so let me just say this. It's almost as if we are still saying that, oh, we need a certain older generation for them to be able to warehouse Nigeria. You understand? And I think as Nigerians or as Africans, we really have not read the world or the room in the world, right? In the days where the maturity of age and the experience and wisdom, of age was needed in handling the affairs of a nation, Africa was busy carrying young people in their 20s, 30s, and all of that. They were the ones who were head of states, recklessly doing all sorts of things. And now you've come to a place when it is a place where you're looking for the kind of vision, you're looking for vision, innovation, creativity, you understand, in handling the affairs of a nation, being able to navigate the fact that the world has a much younger population and all of that, and you find the rest of the world are going to a much younger, leaders. We in Africa, we are putting ancestors, we are putting people that should be in museum if they were museum for living things. You understand? And they're the ones that we want to have, still be in that position of power. And I say again and again, this whole thing about, Atiku. I'm like, must Atiku be president? He doesn't have to be president. You don't have to be president to make a difference. You don't have to lead it. Can he be that statesman and warehouse Nigeria being there? Is it Shehu Musa Yaradua? was vice president, was tried as much as possible to be president, ended up not being president, but his junior brother was. So who knows? Maybe Atiku's a child or something. If they are good enough, one day they're going to be, and Atiku can be president. Who knows? If you have a child who has that ambition, works towards it, have competence, character, capacity, Nigerians feel they want to, yeah. But it doesn't mean that if Atiku Abubakar does not become president, that there will never be an Abubakar or an Atiku. Do they all be Atiku or Abubakar? I don't even know at this rate. But that's just the vibe, that are getting it. And I think it's very important for us to begin to, let's be bold, you understand? And bold in the terms that it doesn't have to be an easy way. Yes, I know we all did that in 2023. It didn't work out, and we go again. We keep going. We keep doing this thing. We can't keep saying that we want the older generation. I totally agree with Kenneth Okonkwo when he said, what we have now is that because the successor becomes worse, it beatifies the predecessor who actually was very bad, but you now keep getting worse and worse and worse, and that's unfortunately what we have. And for me, I always say that even though today we look at our 26 or 27 years, it's 26, right? 26 years of democracy, and you see that Obasanjo's government was the best. It pains me because at that time, Obasanjo's government wasn't the best. We should have had, it should have been the least. But unfortunately, we have this thing where when it comes to choosing successors, Nigerian leaders don't know how to do that. They would rather look for somebody they can control rather than someone who can, win office. I mean, for me, in 2014, like I always say, nobody wanted Buhari, to be in anything when it comes to power. Atiku, within the two of them that we're going for, Atiku was the one who were rooting for, thinking that he was going to win. But I think what they did was to be pragmatic and say, who is the person that already has a block of vote that will ensure a victory, rather than, and hey, this is and it wasn't the one there. 15 years later, we are still making it as if, oh, Atiku is the option and all of that. Please, every one of me, even the Kenneth Okonkwo running for president, you can be president. You can be president. Why don't you start it, bros? Let's start. You can be president also. We can't just keep pushing. I'm 50. It is my father's generation, that are still being pushed. It may be, hey. Where will it be my turn? Before you know what's happening now, our generation, no kukumade. The younger ones will not be the ones there. Please, let's okay.